Hey there, teams 2 and 7. It seems like a lot of us are falling off. And anyway, I'll be representing. I don't know if there's another person that's actually going to make a presentation for this week besides me. But if they make a good one that's better than mine, feel free to respond to that. But I will not have my feelings hurt. Anyways, so for this week, we're talking about the new economy. And I will focus a little bit, perhaps myopically, within that. I'll be talking about, I want us to focus our discussion a little bit surrounding the wage gap, as far as, just focus on document 3. So it talks about how, if you compare us to other similar countries such as Australia or Canada, that we have a more income inequality, richer being richer, poorer being poorer, that type of thing. And although they're not the same, they are similar enough that it shows us that there could be something different than what there currently is, which I think is perfectly fine for us to think that we could achieve a society with less wage inequality and such a distribution of wealth that is very imbalanced. Though I want to make a point that in a capitalist society, that's just kind of the way things will go. Is there's going to be those at the top that have a lot of money, that are pretty few, and you're going to have the rest that hold a significantly less amount of money. So, I thought it made some very interesting points. It talks a little bit about the poverty rates of African Americans and Hispanics, for example, as opposed to white people, and talks about how the lows of them are unequal proportionately to white Americans. But the main thing that I bring to this discussion, that's not just in this chapter, is a link to an article in Forbes that I want you all to read through. At least please read the first line of every point that it makes. They're all numbered throughout, and it talks about how the payoffs of going to college are really crazy. Even if you compare them to stocks or real estate, gold, bonds, etc., that kind of thing, the payout is significantly higher. I don't know how they measure that, but I would recommend that you please look at that. So it talks about how it says there's no better investment return than college. And I think that you can measure it in some ways, like getting paid higher, but perhaps there's other ways too that college educates you and helps you be more capable to provide for yourself. So this is kind of what I'm focusing on, and I'll also ask a question about minimum wage as well. So there's no question, especially if you look in this article, that college absolutely helps people get ahead in life. But I will also link another thing that talks about the average cost of college. So the tuition for the tuition costs, it talks about the tuition costs, and it said it gives some numbers for the average public school, and this is not even taking into account some of the higher up schools. Fortunately, at ISU, it's a lot less cheap, or a lot more cheap, sorry, than the average school. But it talks about the rises, astronomical rises. It gives some graphs to kind of contextualize some of the rises of college over the years. And please read these. And I just want us to have a discussion about how perhaps if we made college more affordable, made more things possible, maybe perhaps you might think about it as, well, in the whole, at least initially, for taxpayers, right? Because we have to pay for that or in some way, right? But I want us to have a discussion about the worth and potential payout of investing more to make college more affordable.